Kevin Gordon, welcome to Profile.
Thank you for having me.
And this will be quite a story. You have quite a story because it's a two-parter actually. You're the founder and CEO of Simply Secure Group. This is a cybersecurity company that's working out of Florida.
Yes,
You've also acquired T-Tech here in Jamaica. So you now form a group of companies.
That's correct.
I have quite a story because in your own words, one might not have expected you to get here at all.
Not at all.
Because of your journey. Born in Kingston, raised in what you call a multi-tenant yard. We'll talk a little bit about that. Raised and dropped out of what? 3 different schools? 2 different schools?
Well,
different schools?
I've had some challenges.
Some challenges. Expelled from one of them, Arden High School. Enrolled at CAST, dropped out of CAST.
Yes.
How you got to be where you are right now, and the story is quite a journey. But let's start at the beginning by talking a little bit about where you grew up and the people who raised you. Your story begins in Kingston.
That's correct. In the heart of Kingston, Jubilee born. I grew up in Slipe Road for the better part of 4 years. A really curious time for me. You'd always see me in jumpers. My mom would dress me in jumpers. A humble beginning. We didn't have a whole lot. My mom was a single parent. My dad left when I was 3. I remember when he said to me, "Kevin, I'm coming back for you the next week," and I'm looking for him to come back for me to go to the beach. Never came back. He ended up going overseas, and that was the last time I saw him. But my mom's, she took me through life, and her strength was what resonated with me.
How was your mother trying to instill that in you at the same time? What was she saying?
It wasn't much about what she said. It's what she did, right? So she never gave up. So even after realizing that my dad left at 3 and there was no further support from then on, she just continued to work. So she started working at Central Fire, and she's a secretary. She went on to do some other courses to improve herself. And she, just through her actions, demonstrated what resilience meant. She never gave up. There was not a lot of money in the house, but she cooked them one-pot meals and, no rice and peas, white rice with some little bit of curry in it, and sometimes she do, a little bit of saltfish, and that was it. And that was the meal.
You talk about the fact that your father left at 3, but at the same time, someone else would step in. Would end up a stepfather.
Yes.
But initially, not a good relationship.
No, not at all. I'll be honest with you. I never liked the man. I'll be honest with you.
Why?
Because at that time I was 6 when he came into the picture, At the time, my mom introduced this man, and I was going to church now with her, and I was slightly involved, trying to get used to the equipment there, and he was a part of the church. So when I saw him carrying her home, I'm like, who is this guy coming in to take my father's spot? So I resented him, and that resentment carried on for many years, Never liked the guy. We fought with him at every corner, but he never gave up, And again, through his love and intentional love for me, showed me what a real father should be. And he does demonstrate, and he's not one to complain. He's not going to cuss. He's not going to get perturbed. He doesn't care how much I screamed. He was just intentional. I love you, irrespective of how you treat me. I'm going to continue to love you. And all the things that I did should have derailed their relationship. Never once did he give up.
Let's talk about some of the things that you did. I'm going to talk about some of the things that you did, but on the other side, you had a very positive role model, not just in terms of your stepfather, but also in terms of your grandfather.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about the role that he played in your life.
I love the wisdom that comes from the elderly. I'll be very honest with you. And so I'd sit with my grandfather for many, many hours on end. He's the man that taught me how to tie this tie. He called it a victory tie. I've never forgotten that. But more importantly, he taught me the valuable lessons of how to become a real man, how to treat your wife, how to treat your family, how to take care of your home, how to talk to elderly and to respect your elderly. I remember driving the car with him going downtown, and he offered me an orange. Man, I never saw the lesson in that. So I said, no, Papa, I'm cool. He stopped the car on Spanish Town Road. Stop the car in Spanish Road and say, what are you doing? When an elderly person offers you something, even if you don't want it, accept it. It's a sign of respect for your elderly. I'm like, all right, Papa, no problem. I'll take the orange.
What was he also teaching you in terms of actually instilling the discipline in you that would also augur well for the future?
Well, every 6:30 he'd wake me up. every Saturday. And if anyone knows me, don't wake me up before 8 o'clock in the morning, right? But at 6:30 in the morning, he would knock on the door. Kevin, let's go. And I'm like, all right, Papa. And because of respect for the man, so I'd get up and he'd be outside. Lawnmower is on. And we're not talking about the lawnmower that has, it's gas powered anymore. It's the one you push, right? So I had to put some strength into it. So he'd show me how to cut the lawn and said, okay, that's your part. Get the scissors and we're trimming the edges. And he's now teaching me practically how to take care of a home. And even after he left the house in my care. And what was important for me is to keep his memory going by keeping the house intact, spick and span. So every Saturday, the same time, I would get up and just honor him by going out and doing exactly what he had taught me to do.
So that's a little bit of the context. Part of the context also surrounds faith.
That's
because
correct.
you also had a really strong upbringing in terms of the example being set
Yes.
by your mother as well as your stepfather.
That's correct. My mom and dad, they are Christians. My dad's a pastor. And I've always seen them demonstrate their faith by getting up early every morning at 5 o'clock. And I hear my dad praying in the background and my mom praying in the background, and they are binding and loosing and calling down favor from heaven, but they are connecting with the Lord. And I saw them, even when things were tough, they were still connecting and demonstrating their faith. So it meant something to me. So because of that, I grew up learning that God was real and that what he said he would do in his word was real. And as a result of that, I started practicing it myself.
I want to talk a little bit later on about how, as you say, you started practicing yourself.
Yes.
And this sort of became a part of you. But you have these strong examples. You have the mother doing all of this work, providing for you. You have the stepfather stepping in, trying to, make sure that you feel loved. And you have the grandfather. But on the other side of it, you're giving problems left, right, and center. But we have to take the break on profile for you to come back and tell us why, in spite of all of these different kinds of positive examples, what kind of trouble you're giving. Stay with us. We're back with Kevin Gordon after these messages.